So this is Chubby. He's my doll. He's all cute and round and squishy. And while I make him transform, I'll describe him. He is entirely hand-sewn, except for the middle. His middle sections are made out of panels. He's filled with cotton balls to make him all squishy. Took a really long time to sew him. Alright, so his alter ego is that he is all cute and cuddly on the outside, and then some kind of repulsive and disgusting on the inside. He has little bugs and snakes for intestines, and again, all hand-sewn. So, little critters inside that are kind of repulsive. There's a bunch of them inside here. Yeah.
This is my altered ego, and at first when I was gonna do this, I was choosing the fabrics which were much more earthy and organic in tone, and essentially I wanted to do something, make an object that's round. Then, being inspired by the presentation we had about the animal body, I decided to make this, which is a ball with the leopard skin, and then it can actually turn inside out like that. It transforms into itself, but the inner part of itself, and it is supposed to resemble like flesh and the inside of the animal. So, and I can go back. Maybe it's supposed to be a little bit grotesque and gory.
So I started with a doll, and I started with the ability of people to change in their ways and their personalities and appearances, but at the core be the same person, even though their outward appearance has superficially changed. So I started with this doll with the two faces, and initially the concept was to have it fold over and create a portrait with the hair formed by the body initially. So what would originally have been the hair portions on the outside here would be transforming into the body. But when I worked on it, and I ended up working with it, I found that by having it swallow the button on the chest, it formed a childlike appearance of the original. So it became a piece about how people are able to revert to their childhood nature with relative ease, even from a seemingly adult form.
So mine is a moon that can transform, and I use black velvet as a nanomaterial to have smooth effect, and this velvet is the idea of velvet knife, and I can open it and I get this part is open in a bird constellation, so I threw stars and got a constellation, invented a constellation of a bird, which is like this part, and you can spread it. The other side is made of feather, which refers to the more natural and actual bird, and it's kind of cringe the way I put it, but I added some glider to get this mix of different medias and qualities and aesthetic. In the meanwhile, I can close it again. Here I made this kind of sun shaped, and that hole in the that round in the middle can refer to the eye. This round shape refers to the earth, and a lot of things like this. And I added some of this in it to add something both aesthetic, but also something that refers to something more art, and more refers to some body injuries and things like this. From this side you have some eggs and some lace put together, and with some shiny diamonds added to it, like, which refers to more sky and stars and minerals elements, which are combined with an animal reference. Like, I built a snake, but I covered his head and his body with a lace, and you can see his eye through this lace, and this snake, it is linked to this to the third thing by the sun. I'm creating the middle of this moon-shaped bird and snake, and the snake has in his body some strange balls, which can refer to the earth, but also to some eggs of a snake or of a bird. And you can see some feathers, like if it's one piece a strange creature that is by something, and it has a diamond in the diamond itself, like if it was something made. It's a one-piece stuff. It's a one-piece creature which can reborn from itself, can feed for himself, and can like something really like really think kind of maybe kind of ritualistic and religious in a way. And I added at the end this eye thing, and with also its diamond.
I made him based on myself and my body. He's made out of canvas because it's basically the only material I'm really familiar with working with. I stitched the outside, and I made this process visible, as it has to do with the main theme of the transformation, which is my insomnia, and my doll transforms by opening and closing his eyes. I wanted to do this because it's a state that really does affect your body, and I wanted to capture that feeling of being awake when you're sleeping and sleeping when you're awake. It's kind of a state that you're both in and out of all the time. And also tying into this, I made the head of my doll weigh a lot more than the actual body, because I feel like there's always this element of frailty and kind of mental exhaustion that goes with having a kind of a psychological issue such as that. It's just based on myself and my experience with insomnia.
I guess I just wanted to make it really pretty and feminine, so I put like gold leaf on the head and made it dress really frilly and full. And transformation is, you can go like this, pop up the head, and turn into chapstick, right? And then the chapstick. Actually, the whole head is just like a whole chapstick that I just kind of glued a Barbie's doll head onto and kind of glued it up with some gold leaf, and it fits right back in.
She's a very Persian kind of lady, and she's pregnant, so she's been waiting for this moment for a long time.
So I'm gonna help her to deliver the baby right now. Baby. Okay. A little baby girl. Sleep with her mom. Okay. That's it. So this is my lady and her cute baby. Thank you. I made it with clay, and this Japanese mythology is Kuchisake no Onna. So it's something that you encounter in the road. When you encounter it, she asks you, am I beautiful? If you answer no, she cuts you and kills you with her scissors. And I included that in here. If you answer yes, what she does is she takes off. She shows you that her mouth is slit, and it's pretty grotesque. And then she asks you a second time, am I still beautiful? If you answer no, she kills you. And if you answer yes, she cuts your mouth the way her mouth is cut. You have to confuse her. You have to say, oh, I forgot what she said. But yeah, you have to confuse her. It's on Wikipedia or something. But I was pretty attracted to this subject because it was pretty grim, and I like the transformation from beauty to grotesqueness. So in that split instant, something beautiful turns into something monstrous. What I did for it was, I guess, add hair. It was pretty long, so it looks pretty luxurious, I guess. But it's pretty monstrous at the same time.
This is an octopus squid type of thing, and I created the different arms to basically show that like an alter ego of me, or I guess what people see is that I'm basically like doing a billion things at once, and I have all these different arms, and I end up doing like a million different activities, and like I'm very social. I have different groups of friends, but sometimes all I want to do is just hide and not do anything at all. Like as social as I am, sometimes I just want to be left alone and just kind of sit in my room and do nothing. So basically this is like the ink of the octopus, and it's, when you turn it inside out, it's basically just the ink. If you were to see an octopus in the water, or a squid in the water, then it could just kind of like squirt out all its ink, and then you can't see it, and it just hides, which is basically what I want to do sometimes. It's also what I use to stuff the inside of the octopus.
It currently sits at Untitled. Initially I had fiddled with ideas of dual identity, the altered ego in the sense of the Buddhist term of the word, and the altered self, identity and all of that. Halfway through, I realized that not only was, transforming a doll in a sort of Frankensteinish way kind of typical, which was something I didn't really want to do, it also wasn't close to what I was trying to explore. The entire process definitely came as it came. I didn't have a concrete plan from the very beginning. Well, the concrete plan was that it was going to be two characters in one, but that kind of metamorphosized as I continued working on my doll. This is my doll, and from the outside, she's androgynous, is a wibbly figure that could be anybody, essentially. However, when you transform her, she becomes anybody but in a tub. So my transformation is sort of, yes, it's situational, but it also explores, kind of touches on ideas of how you change depending on which sphere you enter. So you are the same person, but depending on your situation, your physical form, whether you're clothed or whether you are transformed to, for example, naked in a tub. These are the tub's legs. You definitely become this altered state of persona. You become vulnerable without anything to hide you.
I created like a traditional Victorian style doll with like a lovely silk dress, and I actually made her figure a bit like grotesque to like talk about the connotations of beauty and traditional notions of beauty, while as opposed to her alter ego, which you just flip her skirt. And on the other side is this like half pig, half woman character who actually appears more cute or beautiful than the Victorian lady does, and it's a comment on like the perception of beauty. Like oftentimes pigs are considered like a negative connotation to be called a pig because this references to fat, but it's actually a more beautiful character than the reversal, which is this Victorian woman.
I wanted it to be abstract and separate from the human form, while at the same time maintaining a semblance to the human body, which, you know, including it being gestural. I wanted to create a sort of violent abstraction. This is how it's supposed to rest. There are many things you can do with it. It's really a doll, so it's meant to be played with, it's meant to be handled, and it's meant to be unraveled. So like so. It's transformative in that what I've essentially done is sewn several pieces of cloth together, patterned cloth, but I've also left openings through the neck and the body, as well as turn this arm inside out.
It's made out of a lot of rags of fabric. All these different rags that are sewn together. It has a face, but its face isn't its real face. It's just a mask, and beneath it is the real face. The face that's below the mask. It's kind of scary and strange I think, but I mean, I don't know, this is kind of odd as well.
There are many ways in which it transforms, kind of becomes part of your body. Almost, it's made out of, you know, bits of clothing and such. So you can put the glove on and sort of put it through the hole here. I sort of think of these holes as eye-like things, so it's kind of like eyelashes. There's also the possibility to kind of go through these different various holes, so you can do all sorts of things. If you want it to kind of limply rest there, do that. It can kind of fold into itself, so it's kind of droopy, tear-like thing.
It starts out, I guess, as sort of a representation of me, little ponytail, and then as a child I had a nickname like Froggy, and my favorite animal is a frog. I have a million frog stuffed animals, so take it and you turn it inside out, and then it becomes a little frog puppet, and you just pull these ties, and then you have a little frog. These eyes are little beads that I found, and there's a little fly on the tongue, and that's the transformation of my doll.
It is an octopus. It's kind of a representation of myself. I am very often kind of too involved in a lot of things, or involved in too many things all at once. I like to have my hand in a bunch of different other projects. I like being busy, sometimes to the point of overextending myself, and I feel like that's kind of an accurate representation of an octopus, you know, with its 8 arms and all, constantly, you know, having that appeal of being just busy and kind of very engaged. So really the alter ego to kind of that octopus, or that very busybody, is my transformation. What I did was kind of took a step back and looked at like the opposite, basically, of a busybody would be something just a lot more simple and small. The octopus turns into a fish, kind of keeping with the nautical theme, but basically with the octopus, you know, having so many things to do, and myself being so engaged in everything that I do, the fish is kind of scaling that back and just being, you know, that small fish in a big ocean. I'm just one person, you know, in a very, very big world, and, you know, but I might be involved in a whole lot of things. I kind of have to remember to scale that back and almost be humbled by it, and remember that, you know, that, yeah, I can, you know, be that simpler kind of being in this kind of bigger world. So